Hi guys, good morning to one and all. Welcome to Lakshmi Educations. This is the part 2 in our physics basic series. In part 1, we explained briefly some important and basic concepts that which are related to units and measurementation. In today's class, first of all, I try to recall the points what we have explained in previous class. What is mean by measurement? How can we define? Wherever we go, measurement is there. In our daily activity, measurement is necessary. Even if you are in studies, while we are doing any experimentation to understand any natural phenomena, we have to do some experiments. Experiments always require measurements. So first of all, I try to define that what is meant by measurementation. Simply look at here, measurementation. Measurementation is nothing but a comparison process. The process of comparing an unknown quantity with known quantity. Once again, I am repeating what is meant by measurementation. The process of comparing unknown quantity with known quantity. తెలియనటువంటి విషయాన్ని తెలిసినటువంటి విషయంతో కంపేర్ చేసి దాని యొక్క ఫిజికల్ ప్రాపర్టీని మనం ఎగ్జామిన్ చేసినట్లయితే దాన్నే మనం మెజర్మెంటేషన్ ప్రాసెస్ గా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లుక్ ఎట్ హియర్, ఇఫ్ ఐ డ్రా ఏ లైన్ హియర్, how can I say is it short or lengthy? I can't say without comparison with anyone. In case if I draw another line very near to that one, for example this is the line A and this is the line B. Line A is shorter when compared to the line B. Line B is lengthy when compared to the line A. That means by comparison process I can easily say that which one is lengthy and which one is shorty. So remember one thing, without comparison we cannot complete the measurementation process. Okay children? And second one, what is mean by physical quantity and how can we define it? We remember one thing, if any quantity, if it is measurable, that is called the physical quantity simply. For example, length, mass, time, speed, density, whatever it may be, all these are measurable. That means these all are called as physical quantities. Then how can I give the scientific definition of the physical quantity? The physical property, that means if length, mass, time, whatever it may be, if it is described by any number. For example, a body has mass m 50 kg. Look at here. In this is the physical quantity. How can I say? Why? Because mass can be measurable. Mass can be measurable. So mass is considered like as a physical quantity. Here 50 is called as the numerical value and which one is also called as magnitude. And kg is the unit that which one represents the physical property mass here. So we remember one thing, physical quantity P equal to numerical value into unit. This is the very most important. Physical quantity P equal to numerical value into unit. Here numerical value is the nothing but 50 and unit kg which represents the mass, that means specific physical property of that one. So there is a relation we have in between the numerical value to the unit, that is numerical value is always inversely proportional to reciprocal of its unit. That means how can I say? For example, look at here, 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams. 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams, right? Here 1 kg and 1000 grams indicate same information. But here, look at here. Here 1 is the smallest value, that means when compared to the 1000. So here the numerical value is in low. That means the standard of unit what we are is in high. Look at here 1000. It is very greater than 1. That means here numerical value is very high, but the unit what we are standard use in low. That means numerical value is always inversely proportional to its unit. From this one we can conclude that N1 U1 is equal to N2 U2. This is the mathematical expression for the physical quantity. So once again I am repeating, physical quantity is nothing but the physical property if it is measured and described by any number. So number means here how much mass it consists? 50 kg. Here 50 is the specific number to that one. Okay children, now I try to explain how can we classify these physical quantities. Simply, many physical quantities can be classified into two types. What are the fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities? How can we define the fundamental physical quantities? Those quantities that which are exist independently, those are called as the fundamental quantities. For example, length, mass, time, these all are called as the fundamental quantities. How can we say derived quantities? Those quantities that which are derived from the fundamental quantities, those are called the derived quantities. For example, speed, velocity, acceleration, these all are derived from the fundamental quantities. So this is about information of the derived quantities. Okay children, in generally 7 fundamental quantities we have: length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, luminous intensity, some mass of the substance. These are the 7 fundamental quantities, and 2 more supplementary quantities are there, plane angle and radial angle also. Plane angle and solid angle also. The topic is already explained briefly in part 1 session. Okay children, in today's class, we are going to discuss about what are the basic rules we have to follow while we represent the units for the physical quantities. This is the today class. So I am ready to say that one. Rule number 1. Full form of unit starts with small letter only. What is the rule number 1? Full form of the units starts with small letter only. So when I try to explain about that one, look at here, Newton, Ampere and Coulomb. These are the different units which represents the sum of the physical quantities on the physics. Look at here, Newton, Ampere, Coulomb, these are the scientist names. That means when you represent the unit as the scientist name, if in case in full form, we have to start with the small letter only. Look at here in Newton, N is the smallest letter, Ampere, A is the smallest letter, and C is the smallest letter here. Okay children, once again repeating, physical quantities ki మనం పర్టికులర్ గా యూనిట్ మెన్షన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఆ యూనిట్ ఒకవేళ సైంటిస్ట్ నేమ్ అయినట్లయితే ఆ నేమ్ ని మనం ఫుల్ ఫామ్ లో రాసేటప్పుడు స్టార్టింగ్ లెటర్ స్మాల్ లెటర్ ఉండేటట్టు జాగ్రత్త తీసుకోవాలి. దట్ ఈస్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ విచ్ ఇస్ గివెన్ బై రూల్ నెంబర్ 1. Okay children, and next one, rule number 2. So rule number 2, in rule number 2 we clearly observe symbol of unit should be in capital letter only. So what we learn in the rule number 1? In rule number 1, the full form of the unit must be start with small letter only. Here look at here, what is the second one? Symbol of that unit should be in capital letter. That means when you represent the Newton, Ampere, once look at here, Newton, this is the unit for the force in SI system. Ampere, this is the unit for the electric current in SI system. Coulomb, this is the unit that which represents the charge in SI system. So according to the second rule, when I want to represent this unit in symbolic form, there at that time I use the capital letter only. That means capital N, that which indicates the Newton, capital A, that which indicates the Ampere, capital C, that which indicates the Coulomb, that means electrical charge, whatever it may be. This is the rule number 2. Are you clear? Now we are going to rule number 3. What is the rule number 3? Symbol of all units should be in small letters only. All units means except scientist names. Why? Because the symbolic of scientist name should be in capital letters only. So except of all the scientist name physical quantities, we have to represent in the small letters only. For example, look at here, M, that which indicates the meter, kilogram, kg, S for seconds. So these are the different units what we have. These all are the units which are represented by small letters only. This is the information which is given by rule number 3. And rule number 4, this one is the very most important. We have to left some little space between the numerical value on the unit. Look at here, there is an example here. A person has a mass M is equal to 50 kg. In this one, already we know 50 is the numerical value and kg is the unit that which represents the particular physical property mass here. So what I observe here, there is a little space is there between the last digit of the numerical value to the unit. In the same manner, the distance between two places is around 10 kilometers. There is a space is there. When you measure the length of anyone, 5 meters, 60 centimeters, whatever it may be, there is a little space is there. Just we remember one thing, we must leave some space between the numerical value, last digit of the numerical value to the unit. This is the information which is given by the rule number 4. And rule number 5, don't use any plurals at the end of the units, like 10 kilometer, not 10 kilometers. 5 meter, not 5 meters. 60 centimeter, not 60 centimeters. That means don't use any plural letters at the end of the unit representation. Why? Because according to the physical quantity, P equal to numerical value into unit. Already we know about that one. Here 10, that which describes a particular number. That means how many times it have. How many kilometers? 10 kilometers. How many meter? 5 meter. How many centimeters? 60 centimeters. That means it gives information about the numerical value and magnitude. So at that time there is no need of use any plurals at the end now. So this is the which is information given by the rule number 5. And rule number 6. Rule number 6, don't use any full stops at the end of the units. That means 10 kilometers it's enough. Don't use 10 kilometers full stop. 5 meters it's enough. Don't use any full stop here. 60 centimeter, don't use any full stop here. So according to the rule number 6, don't use any full stops at the end of the units. Okay, children. And last rule and very important rule. What is the rule number 7? Don't use any space between the unit terms. This is the very important. Let's look at it here. For example, 6 joule second, 10 nanometer. So joule second, this is the SI unit for the angular momentum. Joule second, this is the unit that which represents the angular momentum. Newton meter, this is the unit that which represents the torque. So what we observe here, according to the rule number 7, there is no more leave any space between the any two unit terms. Joule second, is there any gap here? Nothing. Newton meter, is there any gap here? Newton meter, you have to pronounce Newton meter, not Newton meter. No need to space any between the unit terms. So this is the information which is given by the rule number 7. So these are the 7 important and basic rules what we have in the units and measurementation while we represent the units to the physical quantities. Are you clear? I hope this class is useful to you, right? Okay, children, these are the 7 important basic rules. Once I try to recall those one. Rule number 1, full form of the unit starts with small letter only. And rule number 2, symbol of unit should be in capital letter only. Remember one thing, rule number 1 and rule number 2, that which gives information about the scientist names. If we represent the units as the scientist names, then we have to follow the rule number 1 and rule number 2. And rule number 3, symbol of all units except scientist name, we have to start with small letter only. That means indicated by the small letters only. Rule number 4, we have to leave some little space between the last digit of the numerical value to the unit. Okay, and rule number 5, don't use any plural forms at the end of the unit representation. And rule number 6, don't use any full stop symbols even after completion of the units. And rule number 7, don't use any space between the unit terms. For example, joule second, nanometer, like that one, we don't use any space between joule dot second, n dot meter, not like that. Okay, so these are the 7 important basic rules what we have must follow while we represent the units for the physical quantities. And next one and very important one is prefixes. Okay, children, prefixes what we are used while we are represent the units for the physical quantities. So prefix means the term what we are used previously, that means before it. For example, look at here, 10 power 1 deco, 10 power 2 hecto, 10 power 3 kilo, 10 power 6 mega, 10 power 9 giga. So these are, and so many terms are there. These are the some of the examples that what we are used prefixes regularly. 10 power 1 deco, 10 power 2 hecto, 10 power 3 kilo, 10 power 6 mega, 10 power 9 giga. How can we use this one? That means, for example, 3 kilometers, 10 megawatts, 15 gigawatts. That means here kilo and mega and giga, deca, hecto, whatever may be, these are the prefixes of the units. Here 3 and 10 and 15 are the numerical value, and meter and gram, and these are the units that which represent the particular physical property. And one more thing, the another we have to represent here 10 power minus 1 deci, 10 power minus 2 centi, 10 power minus 3 milli, 10 power minus 6 micro, 10 power minus 9 nano. These are the some prefixes what we are using generally. How can we use this one? For example, 3 centimeters, 5 millimeters, 8 nanometers, 10 picometers. These are the some more examples what we are raised in the as the prefixes in this one. So this is the today class. In this class we learn clearly about that what are the 7 rules what you have to follow must and shouldly before representation of the units and what are the prefixes we have. Okay children, I hope this class is useful to you. Thank you.